Hello beautiful people, and welcome to CuteLuks Stitches tutorial. Today I'm going to be taking you on our peplum pleated gown. It's an English material made with crepe. So we're going to be using our measurement here. I have our measurements: length 60, the shoulder 18, with everything I've divided. Our bust says 49, the waist 44 and a half, our half length says 17 and a half, and we'll be using our baby sleeve that has elastic around the hand. So I have my measurements ready here, and this is my fabric. It's a gold color crepe. And we all know we have the stretchy parts on our material and we have the non-stretchy parts. So this is it. I have it here on the table. So I'm going to place it. So I'm going to be using the stretchy parts for the wide part of my body and the non-stretchy for the length part of the body. The first I'm going to be bringing out my half length before I can get the pleated side ready. This is the back of the material and this is the front side of the material, or rather no, this is the front side here. You can see the dots, they're looking flat around here. For those of us that are confused when we have materials like this, you can see this eye punching out. This is the back side and this is the front side. So I'm going to place this and then place it on fold so I can get everything out. So this is it here, and then I'll take my chalk and get my measurements open out ready here. And so this is it. My half length said 17 and a half, and at most times, for those of you who have been with us all the while in our channel, you know I always slant the shoulder with 1.5, and when I slant with 1.5, it takes out half around the neck point. So I will be having my 17.5 inches, which is this. I'll place it here and then add my shoulder slant of ½ inch and 1 inch, which will help us to hold half at the shoulder and half at the waistline. So in total of 19 inches, you can see. And so I'll rule that out. I'll go all the way to this side and roll out my 19 inches. This is my 19, and then I'll roll it out. So this is it, and then our bust says 49, which I've divided into 4. It gave me 12/4. So my 12/4 is this. And then normal on our English material, our sewing allowance is meant to be just 1 inch, but you know we Nigerians, we have issues with sewing allowance. Some people can even tell you to put 2 inches on an English material, which is not good. It depends on the person though. So I'm going to be using 1.5 inches for my seam allowance. So this is it. First I'll go for my shoulder. It says 18. I'll divide my 18 into 2. This is my 18. This is 9 inches I have here. Normally I'm supposed to add extra ½ inch to hold the sleeve coming in, but due to it's going to be a puff sleeve around this area, I won't be using my extra ½ inch, neither would I be using my direct 18 inches, which is the 9. I'm going to be putting 17 inches here. So when I pleat on the ½ inch, it's going to fall back at 16, so it will balance in directly into the cloth. If this is not clear, this is it. Our shoulder measurement says 18. When I divide, it gives me 9 inches. Normal, if it's a regular English sleeve, I'm supposed to add extra ½ inch to hold on to the shoulder and then relax real good on the shoulder point of the individual. But as it is, I'll be having an pleat around the shoulder area, so I'm not going to be using this ½ inch. Neither would I be using my 9 inches direct. I will reduce it to 17. So when I work with this ½ inch here, I have 16, and the pleated area will be relaxing perfectly on the shoulder. So this is my 17 inches here, and then I'll slant by 1.5. and then I'll connect it to the neck point, this area here. And so I'm going to be taking my armhole measurements of 8 inches. I don't want it to be too deep, so what I took around the shoulder area, I'll bring it down to this side. 17, that's 8.5, and then I'll connect it so it stays clear. So this is it. And so because it's an English style, I'm going to be using my neck of 3.5 inches, so it doesn't go too wide and still relax real good on the body. So you can see that ½ inch is gone off the clothes. So my neck measurement, or rather my half length measurement, starts from this point, not here anymore. So I'll take from here all the way down. You find out that we're now having 18.5 inches. So from this point, I'll be taking my depth of my neck, and then I'll curve. I can use my hip curve or my armhole curve depending on how deep I want it to be. So I'll just curve it this way. So you see I have it, and then I'll be taking my bust measurement. First I'll take my bust length, which is 11.5. I have it here. I don't need any nipple point or anything because I won't be having any princess dart connection here, just our regular dart. So I'll take my bust measurement, which I have here. It says 12/4, which is 49. I'm going to take it here, and then my 1.5 inch for seam, which is the closing of our dress. And then the waist area says, our waist says 44.5, which is 11/1/8, which is this here, plus my 1 inch for that, and then 1.5 to close the dress. So I'll connect it to the bust area like this. I'm done with everything concerning this area. So to curve the armhole, I will be coming to the point length of my armhole and take 1 inch up, come up here, which is our shoulder slant, and then mark it down to 5 inch here. For us to have that chest relaxation, I'm going to take 1/2 inch inside and then connect with my armhole curve. This is it. I take my armhole curve and then connect to my 1/2 inch, connect to the 1 inch as well, and so this way connect it real good, so that when you're putting your sleeve, you won't be having it straight, to be curved and relaxed. So this is it for the center front of our peplum. This is our half length. I'll cut it out and then place at the back. But looking at the neck, you can see it's not looking so deep like a proper round neck, so I'm going to be adjusting this area. So this is it. I make it a bit deep inside, and so this is it. This is better for an English dress, so I'll cut this out. Then I'll cut out the side. Then I'll get my armhole out. So that's it. We're done with the center front. You can cut out the neck if you want, but I prefer just notching here to help me find out the middle, and then here as well to help with the pleat. And so I'll take it out. If you feel this is going to move, you can take your pin and pin it down so it doesn't go off. So I'll take it to this side and then fold the material again to get the back side of the half length. And so I'll take the front and place here. So this is it. I'm going to take out my zip allowance, 1.5. Keep going. My 1.5, and then I'll roll it out. Don't forget, make sure you always use the stretchy part so that it will stay relaxed on your body and look smart as well, even if you're on the big side. So adjust this carefully to meet the point. So this is it here. And so I'll take my neck measurement at the back. It's not meant to be too deep on a regular English gown, but in this one I want the back to be V, so I'll be taking it down here by 9.5 inches here, and then I'll chalk this area to help me with my neck. That's the reason why I didn't take this off, so that to be easy for me to connect here. Then for the back side, where we always have our bulge, you come to the bust line, which is 12 inches here, but I'm going to come down by 13.5 so it stays well. And then I'll take 1 inch around here, making it look like a dot, and then I will connect from here to meet here, which is the waistline of the peplum. If you look at it, it looks like a dot that you're about to shape out. And then at the bottom side here, I'm going to come to this side and take 1 inch up. And this is it. And then this is my measurement. Make sure while you are slanting this, it does not affect your sewing allowance at all. So I'm going to come from this point here and slant it to meet this waistline, so that any bulge around here will seize it, and here we seize it as well. So this is it here. And then I'll take my dart measurement. This person here, her nipple to nipple says 8.5 inches, so I'm going to be applying 5 inches around here, so that when I pick it out, it will fall in between 9 inches or 8.5 inches, and it will still be standard on her body. So I'm going to leave it at my 5 inches here and then notch it, both the front and the back. So this is it. And then I'll cut out the body side of this out. And then at the armhole area, this center where we took 5 inches and then deep in, we're going to take that ½ inch back, because our back does not have a deeping area, rather the front does. And then you see I connect it back, and it still connects with this one. So this is how the back will be. Let me take this in a little so it doesn't get excess. And so I will slant this to make this as a V. So this is it. And then mind you, here is not supposed to be this straight. You just take it up a little so it will walk with this area. But you could also fold it when you want to cut and do like this, so that you can cut out, but I prefer doing it this way. So guys, it's high time to cut the back of this. I think from this area I'll do just this. Here we go. I take the excess at the back off, up to this place, and then I'll take this and here. You can make yours deeper than this or wider, no problem. But mind you, when you're making an English clothes, your neck is not meant to be too wide. If not, it might be falling off your shoulder or not relax well. So I'm going to cut out the armhole of the back. Yeah, and then the front neck. And then you notch. So both front and back are ready, and then we slant this off. Sorry, I'm supposed to slant this before notching my dart, so I'll take this off. You can dry this on your own clothes first and see how it looks like, and then work it on someone else's clothes, and then you're good to go. But don't worry, this idea is just the best for you to take off bulge at the back of your clothes. So we're done with the front piece, and then we'll be taking the front to cut the facing of this, so that when you bend, the inner material and the outer are the same material. So guys, this is just how you should cut your simple English gown, or you want to cut your peplum. This procedure is very easy for you, be it straight or it's a peplum, but here we're making a peplum, and we still have our material left here. So we're going to be checking how many yards we have left to be able to pleat on the waist area. I guess it should be at 2.5 or even more than. Let's check. Let's see how this goes. So this is it, 36 inches. And another 36 inches, that's 2 yards. And a half. I told you guys, 2.5. So this is it. we have it by 60 here, which is not going to be everything we use. It's going to be 2SS, so we're going to be taking our facing out of this, we're going to be taking our sleeves out of this, but first we're going to go down and process this side before we start preparing the pleating. So guys, we'll go down to the sewing machine so I'll show you how it's done. Okay guys, this is it. I folded my material for the facing. Like I said, we were supposed to go down to the machine and stitch this area down for our darts, but before that, let me cut out the facing before applying our darts. So your facing depends on how you want it, how low you want it to be. Like I see, my neck is not so deep, but I'm going to be having my facing to this length, because at most times the front facing is always good to be deep so it doesn't start running out. You can make your facing to reach your seam allowance, and you can also curve to your armhole if you don't want it to reach that side. So you see, can also actually come through this place and just have your facing going down to this place instead of your seam allowance here. So just a thing of choice, but I'm going to cut this out here. I wanted to get to this area, or rather, let me leave it here. Let me leave it at the armhole area, and then I'll shape it out and then go to the weaving machine, weave this area very neat, and then connect the facing of the front. Same method that we use at the back. I'll cut out my facing and then go to weave it and turn the neck off this part. So this is it. I'll cut this out. Mind you, when you're trying to cut out your facing from the armhole, make sure you have a little of excess so that it doesn't jump in when you're making it, when you're placing it on the body. So I'll cut out my neck area and this, and then I'll notch it so that they'll correspond when I'm working. So this is for the front, and then the back part. This is the back part. I'll take one piece of it off, and then I'll cut the facing as well for the back. This is an English material, it does not need lining, no, except you just want to put lining, but for me, I don't need lining with this. So you move this out a little. This is the zip area, and this you can see, so I still need to pull it out a little. So let me not waste this material, so turn it this way. And so here, I'm going to bring this down a little around here, and then connect it to the armhole as well, up this way to the armhole. And then I'll cut out from the shoulder area. So I'll do this. Just need to be careful whenever you have anything V at the back, even at the front side, you need to be careful so it corresponds. So you see, so I got this part ready. So I'm going to trim off the hem area and then leave a little out, and then I'll trim this off. And so now I'm done cutting out the back facing. I will go and weave this, turn the neck, and then show you what it looks like. I have how many with me? So we're here on the machine, and I'm going to take my dart first and stitch it. For me to be able to get my dart whereby it doesn't fall on my nipple point, I'm going to take the nipple point that says 11 inches here. This is the nipple point, and then I'll come down by 1.5 inches, or rather let me do 2, so it stays under my nipple. So whatever I have will stand as my dart allowance. So what I have here is 5.5. So when I stitch half to my flay, it remains 5 inches. So I'm going to be working with 5.5 inches for my dart. So this is, it's going to be 1/2 inch. You could chalk it if you want while you're making it. Especially if you're a starter, you can do this 1/2 inch and then rule it out this way, 5.5, and then carefully pick your dart from the point of that 1/2 inch. Don't slant your hand, make it stay straight, and you will still meet with the dart size. So this is it. I'm going to carefully take this. You can see I'm not slanting my hand, but it's going down carefully and knot it down. So this is it for the dart. So you see it's looking straight. So I'll do the second one. Make sure they are relaxed and equal at this angle. So I'll place my 1/2 inch, and then I'll take my tape and measure my 5.5 inches. Please don't over chalk your material like this, so because we don't have a lining here, you can see this is showing, so you're supposed to just take it lightly. So this is it. So we're done with the front dart. I'm going to mark out the back dart as well. So you see, looking straight and relaxed on the body. This is for the front, and this is the back. This is the back part. So to get the back dart, I'm going to measure my nipple point on this dress, 11 here. This is my 11. So instead of using the 11 direct, I will come up by 5 inches up here, depending on how much you want it to be, but most times I use 5 inches. So this is my 5 inches. Whatever I have in total, you can see is 11. So I'm going to be using my 11 inches all the way up. So my 1/2 inch. Then I'll measure 11 inches. This is my 11 inches here. So I'll go straight. Don't forget I actually slanted this bottom, so just leave it with the inch that was left. So you see it's 1 inch off. So I'll stitch from there to get my back dart. I'm going to apply same method at the other piece of the back, which is this. Have my 11 inches here. So you can see both darts at the back are ready, same with that of the front. So I'm going to start turning the neck from the front of this to the back side. So I have my facing ready, woven, you can see. So I'm going to take it like this. If you have your pin, you can pin it down to make it relax, and then you sew with 1/2 inch. You can actually chalk it as well if you cannot manage it freehand. So this is it. You can go as well as chalking it all the way around while you walk. So, but if you have a straight hand, then you're good to go. So this is my 1/2 inch. I'm going to use it all the way around. Can see they landed equally because I used the same neck measurement to cut it, the facing. And so I'm going to notch this out. I'm going to notch and notch. You can leave it this way after notching, or you can also trim out after notching to make the neck last real good. So this is it. Anyone that serves you well, no problem, but I always prefer after notching I still trim out so that after ironing everything relaxes. So then I'll top stitch on this. Mind you, these are English clothes. You don't top stitch in a rough way, you do it neatly and accordingly. So this is it. Keep going on a straight line to give you a neat finishing. You see how I'm maintaining that? This is it. So I'm done with the front neck. So ironing will be very easy for me now. You see, even before ironing, it's already looking relaxed. So I'm going to put this aside and then prepare the back side neck. So this is it. This is the facing for the back. I'll do this. I'm going to take this tiny from here. You can take it even the same inch with the neck and how you want it to be, as long as it's not showing when you connect the zip. So this is it. Carefully go with it here and then turn. Then maintain my half. Okay, I'll do the same here. This is it. That's it. Around this area will notch, so that will be easy for the zip to relax, and then trim it off. So I'm going to do the same method that I did at the neck, of the front to the back, and then trim off. And then top stitch. So easy for the notch. You can see this place will be easy for you to top stitch on, and moves flexibly. So this is it. I'll do the same to this. So we're done with neck. So we're going to iron this flat and then close up the half length. So guys, you can see we are done with the neck, ironed out. The back is V like I told you, and you can see the curve around here taking off the excess from the back, and you can see the shape of the excess as well that's gone out from here. So we're going to be chalking out the body measurement of this. See the front neck as well. You can see ironed out, and even as well with the darts. Can you see? So I'm going to chalk this with the measurements we have. Our bust says 49, which is saying 12/4. I'm going to take it from here. This is the bust, sorry. I'm going to take it from here to meet my 12/4. So this is it. My waist says 44.5, which is 11/1/8. I'll do this. This is my 11/1/8. And so I'm going to roll it out. So like this, we're going to meet the waistline from the bust down to the waistline. Apply the same here. My 12/4 around the bust area. This is it. And the waist is 11/1/8. This is it here. So I roll it out as well. So after shaping this out, I'll take it to the machine, join it with the front, and then we have our pleating coming at the bottom side to give us our peplum gown. So guys, while you're watching this, give me a thumbs up, turn on your notification, please subscribe, and also join the comment section. I will be there to attend to you. Also follow us on our Facebook channel, CuteLuks Stitches. So we'll go down to the table, stitch the shoulder and close the side from the back part, and then we're good to go. So for this area not to be dancing around, you can see the notch point and the notch part of the zip allowance, they are connecting. So you could take your pin and hold them down together so they don't move. So see, it's going nowhere. I'm going to start from here. You can join your shoulder first before this, any of the above serves. So I'm going to start from the armhole and stitch it down to the waist area. So this is it. Hold it this way, and I'll carefully roll it down. One part is ready. We'll stitch the other part. You can see even the dots are corresponding. So I'm going to stitch this one as well. In here. So the importance of this place you have curved around there is when you want to attach your sleeve. So you see, so it's better excess to trim off than looking like this. It won't be cool on your clothes at all. So I'm going to join the shoulders now, body to body, facing to facing. You see, I take it carefully. You can leave it this way. You can also take your pin, hold it down so you don't move around while you stitch, and then this. So you sew with 1/2 inch. Yep. And around here, because of the thickness, you notch this off. You can also take the whole of it, but I prefer notching just that middle. And there you see, it's looking relaxed. Cool. So we'll take to this side as well. And then you can pin this down too. Don't forget, body to body, facing to facing, you can see it. And then I'll match it down as well. Done. So the half length is ready. Then we'll get our flare area and pleat it to the half length. And our gown is almost ready. Then we'll take this pin off. Mind you, always remember to take all pins off when you're done working, so you don't hurt whoever that is putting on the clothes. So now we're through. We're going to weave the seam area so it looks very neat, and then apply the pleated area. You can see the back side is V already weighted. If you want your V deeper, no problem, it's a choice. So I'm going to open this because I made this in gathers, so it's very easy for me to lose. So now I'm done losing this out. I'll go to weave the same area and then bring the flare area for you to see. So I have this ready. You can see it's not in a flare form, it's just a cut out straight material. So this is it. I'm going to notch the middle. This is for the middle where I have the notch on the half length. Then I'll come down here, take my tape, and then measure out 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. This is it, 1.5, and then I'll notch there as well. All these notch are guidance, so they help you to know where to pleat, where to stop, so you'll be able to manipulate your pleats while you work. So this is the two sides of your peplum, of the half length area. So I'm going to place this down here and then start pleating. So I start with the center part, connect with the notch here in this area. I'll place. So in case you're always having issues with your pleats not circulating well, or some part coming out excess, you're supposed to notch. This is the method. You're supposed to notch it first, so you know where you're supposed to fall, not just placing your flare on it and start running. No, you're supposed to notch to know each angle where it's supposed to be. So this is it. So this is it here. So this is it. So we'll start pleating now. And I'll sew from here with 1/2 inch. So pleat little by little. You can do it 1 inch, 1.5, depending on how much you have your flare and how full you want it to be. So you see, carefully moving this. Be conscious while you're pleating. Make sure your pleat falls at the right place. Like this is it. This is the dart area. I'm going to pleat on my dart line carefully, so it looks very neat. This is what I'm saying. It helps you as guideline. So while you move, I'm at the dart area now. You can see my material is not too much on this, so I'm going to pleat carefully around this area to help move on. I think I should move this one a little at the front, or rather let me reduce this. I think my pleat is too much. When you have issues like this, just lose and then rework it. No big deal. So this is it. And then you start over again. So boom. We'll take it from here. And then to your dart. Make sure your seam allowance is facing the back side. And then you pleat on the joining part of your peplum and keep going. So same thing you do to the front side. If you notice, I don't want this pleat to be too big, too full on this cloth, because the person is on the big side, so she doesn't need it to look too thick on her. Yeah, we need that space. You can measure your box, so while you're working you can also measure the box on the body of the half length. While you're working you could measure it 1 inch, 1.5, how you want it to look like on the dress. So that's how it is. But if you can manipulate it well, then you're good. So here I want it to be bold. Because I'm going to start pleating from this end this way. And so I will take this way to the dots. And then the center line as well, the side line as well. If you notice, I'm no longer pleating this way again, I'm pleating this other way. So when you put it on, so look as if you're wearing a belt gown instead of just an ordinary flea gown that is just there. And mind you, maintain your ½ inch while you sew. So I'm going to match on this dot line as well, so my work goes uniform. So this is it. I think I have excess here a little. Excuse me. There you go. Come in. When you have issues like this, when it comes to flay, you can't be too perfect. So when you have issues, lose it and correct yourself immediately, so the cloth does not come out looking funny and making the person look stupid. So you have to do it very neat. So we're done with the waist area. The front side that I actually moved, casing each other, this is how it's going to look like. Just like a box. So you see the way this one is at this area, and everything is falling accurate. The dot here and the dot as well here. You see this one is bold, this one is also bold. Can you see their inches? So that's one thing with it. You need to be careful while you box. Same thing is happening at the back. The dot line, you see where it's falling, and same with this and the sides as well. So we're almost done with this. I'm going to weave the waistline, join. First I'll join from the bottom to where the zipper will stop, and then I'll weave the waistline past my zip and then apply the sleeve on it. I'm going to be closing from the bottom by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to be stitching up from down to the upside by 1.5 from this bottom area. This is it. Keep going. Another 1.5. This is a flare gown. You don't have issues with hip area not connecting well or not passing properly. So most times we don't, from the waistline we don't really need too much inch at the waistline to connect to the zip to the down part of it. So I'll be measuring like say 6.5 inches down here. It's okay, and then I'll match my zip right here, and then so that will be the opening for my zip from the shoulder to the bottom passage. So this is it. I have the full body ready here with me, so I'll take it to the table and show you how I'm going to pleat it out. So you can see I'm done with the pleating. This is it on the table. You can see the middle. When you iron this and put it on, here will relax this way on the body, and this one will go this way. Not everything flow in one place, or everything will just be relaxed on the body after ironing. Can you see everything is falling in the right place? So I'm going to weave here the waistline and then prepare the sleeve. We have a 1 inch elastic here. That's what I'm going to be having at the round sleeve. And like I said, it's a baby elastic sleeve. So I'll cut it out now so you understand what I'm talking about. So this is it. I have here folded for 2 sleeves. So this is it. Make sure they're equal and looking relaxed. So this is it. I'm going to take the length of the sleeve. I don't want it too big, so I'm going to be using 8 inches for the length, or rather let me use 6 inches because I don't want it big, plus 2 inches for my elastic. You can see it's a 1 inch elastic, so I need space to cover it inside. So this is my 2 inches up here. So I'm going to be connecting here to meet my 2 inches down here, and then I'll cut this out. So when I fold this in, and I'll sew with it. Maybe make it this way a lot. And then not this. This is enough to hold down. So I'll take it to the machine and then connect my elastic inside of it. I have a total of 11.5 inches. The extra half inches for my seam allowance, so I won't be using the direct 11.5 inches, because 11.5 into 2, that makes it 23 inches. I'm going to be using, at least due to the size of the person's body, I'm going to be using 24 inches, which is 12. I'm going to use here. This is my 12. If you feel it's small and then you add more to it, make it 14, depending on the person you're using. So this is it. This is my 14. So into 2. You could go with anybody's body. Can you see? If it's still small, you can still expand it a little to 15, because you're going to work with sewing allowance. So you have to check whatever you have at the round part of your material to connect your elastic and know how to go about it. You see how it is. So I'll go down to the machine and then pass the elastic inside of this. So guys, stay with me while we get through with this beautiful gown. It's 16 inches cut out in 2 places, because I'm working with a big body size person, so I need her to have her ease inside, though it's going to look like a band at the end. So I'm going to take this, which is my sleeve, and fold down. I already have a self edge here, so there's no need to start weaving it out. So I'm going to measure my 2 inches. It's my 2 inches. So I fold this way. And I'll take it from here. So I'm going to iron this out so it looks relaxed, and then pass my elastic inside of it. So this is it. I've connected the elastic on the 2 sleeves, so I'm going to connect it to the body of this, which is the armhole side of the top side of this gown. So I'll just start sewing this way. You all know this sleeve, but most times it doesn't come with elastic. But I applied elastic on this. You can do yours without elastic. It's a choice. So, just like I did with the waist here. Like 3 feet. Second one. Third one. So, you can see probably looking like a regular baby sleeve, just the cuff. They have elastic around it, so if the person is on the big side, to just open out. So, I'm going to walk with this side as well. Looking for the shoulder coming down. So we're done with every part of this gown. All we need now is our fastener to apply on it. Most of us know how to apply our fastener. So, we're through with the peplum gown. This is cool. This is how the body will look like. Along with the sleeve, like a baby girl. So this is it. So this is it, guys. I am done with every body part of it. You see the half length is ready. This is the sleeve. That was why I took in the shoulder. You can see it's standing on its own. So when you put this on now, everything will just relax on the body. So all we need to do is to put our fastener, weave every part of it, and this lovely gown is ready. So guys, I will see you in my next tutorial. Don't forget, like I said, follow us on our Facebook channel. Give me a thumbs up in this video, please, 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 and then subscribe, turn your notifications so that when we drop new videos you get them along with others. So bye bye, guys.